There was a moment that you talked about first opening your home.
Yes.
And then I'm going to go to the equation.
No problem.
Because while you were saying that, I really believe there's a pastor on here who's saying, you know what, I would love to be as tangible as Pastor Taylor, but I feel like I can't trust opening my home. How would you be able to encourage a pastor or a leader on their desire to be more reachable or tangible, but they're fearful that they can't trust the people who want to touch them?
Understand. It starts by building a context. It starts by building a context. I notice I've been pastoring for 12 years.
Okay.
My doors it has been open, I would say, the last maybe 6 years.
Okay. So it wasn't from the jump.
No,
we actually had to work towards.
We didn't start like that. One, because I was young, I had a young family, and so Karen and I, we got married when we were 20, so we didn't even know ourselves. You know what I mean? We didn't know what we were doing. You know what I mean? And so it's taken time for us to actually build our family dynamic, to build our home to where our home is secure and where our foundation is laid to where people aren't coming in there. They get mixed signals. My wife saying one thing, I'm saying another thing. Kids crazy. You know what I mean? And so we do more damage bringing people into our home than not.
Right.
Outside of that, within the church, we've built a context to where we can discern the hearts of our people.
Gotcha.
To where preaching, teaching, folk already know I ain't about that bull. You know what I mean? So folk already know. You come to my house. You coming for the right reasons. Don't come for no crap. You know what I mean? Don't come acting up. And then of course, logistically, of course, we have staff, and when we have members and family in our home, our staff know. You know what I mean? We have staff that, of course, we don't display it for everybody. You know what I mean? But there's 2 or 3 people who know that, okay, tonight pastor will be entertaining. On the logistics side. Yes. That pastor will be entertaining members of the church, and so forth and so on. Little particulars, but nothing, nothing crazy. Right. And we haven't experienced that. You have to, as a shepherd. And here's the thing. It's another thing about having, knowing when it's a God thing. Any real shepherd, the Bible, Jesus says it like this. He said, "My sheep know my voice." And so when you know that there are people that God has connected you to shepherd them, to lead them, to guide them, to be the watchman of their soul, you'll know. Gotcha. It will resonate with you, and so you won't feel any apprehension about bringing them into your home. Your wife or your husband, for that matter, depending on what the case is, won't feel any apprehension. It'll be open. It'll be loving. Every one of our, time that we have members over, my wife and I were together. We like hosting, we like having family. We have a big family, so it's nothing that's uncommon for us. So this is already a part of our context. Now, if there are pastors that that may be more private, that it may not be something for them, I would say don't stress it. Gotcha. Just make sure that your life is open. Your life being open and your doors being open doesn't necessarily have to equate to the very same thing.
Is life being open being more transparent? Is
that being more transparent, being willing to do life with people?
With like practice?
We saw from one of my brothers a birthday party. Okay. An invitation, and we received for a birthday party. If our calendar works, Stop by and check it out. Hang out. It's a party. Be there. Because we have a growing family. Many members in the church who have little kids. That when I invite Joey or Caitlin to the birthday party. If you can do that, go. You know what I mean? Especially now this time of the season. I get a myriad of invitations to prom parties and graduations, things of that nature. And so of course I can't do every one of them, but as my calendar dictates, make time for it, man. I remember last year one of our members graduated from high school, and you would have thought, she's her mother's a single mom, and my wife and I, we've been pretty influential in their life. You would have thought I was her dad. You know what I mean? Listen, my wife, she was like on row 3. Because they love Lady K. When Lady K was on row 3, I was right next to the mom, with grandma and mama. You know what I mean?
You must be proud of
row 1. You know what I mean? So I'm like, whoa, this your daughter? Like, no, this is my member. I love her. I love her. My daughter in Christ. You know what I mean? And I don't know if I, arrived at that point, son, daughter, because I'm so young. But well, almost young. I'm about to hit the 3-0, man.
Right.
I'm about to hit 3-0, so now I can't use the young card anymore. But you know,
that should have meant a lot for her to see.
And so even beyond just bringing people into your home, going to them, being a part of them, you know what I mean? Going to people's homes, you know, some inviting different things, you know, being there, you know, that makes a difference. You know, that makes a difference. Connecting with them outside of the 4 walls of the church. That automatically expands your context.
So you have to be wise, you have to be discerning, but also be intentional to be involved in the life.
Very intentional. Absolutely, absolutely. You know, look at, you know, if you're gonna be a pastor, then be a pastor. You know what I mean? Yeah. So a part of your schedule. I mean, if you're a full-time pastor, of course, if you know, if you're a bivocational pastor, we understand that, you know, that some things may differ. But me, I've been a full-time pastor all 12 years. Wow. You know, and so a lion's share of my calendar should be the concerns and the engagement of the church, of the people that I shepherd. You know what I mean? And so that's a part of my calendar.
Hospitals and different visits and
all that I can do. Thank God we have ministers now that can help me in that, so I don't do it all by myself.
But just because you have the minister doesn't mean your face is still not.
No, I'm not. You know, of course I'm not ditching everything. You know what I mean? You know, I can't be that. Because especially Heavenly Vision, we're a 61-year-old church. Well, in this year, be 62-year-old church. And my grandfather, he was the most relatable person. I mean, you know, he turned the church into a home. Like, you know, of course, his home was open as well, but, you know, he would, you know, in our fellowship hall, he would just, you know, there was one season where he would cook his healing soups, and everybody knew that, you know, this flu season, Pastor B's gonna cook soup. So after church, everybody come get some of Pastor B's healing soup. And that's, you know, he was just a relational type of person. So, you know, he would sit in hospitals. Now I'm a little more strategic in my visits. You know, my hospital visit, his hospital visit was 1 hour and 23 minutes. Mine is 15. You know what I mean? And so, you know, I'm more strategic about it. But nevertheless, you know, we're still, you know, doing. I mean, those are matters of pastoral care.
Got it.
You know, rejoice with those who do rejoice, mourn with those who do mourn. You know, and I believe that should be a part of our duty as pastors.
Do you think there's an option or a requirement?
For me, I think it's a requirement. But now, even in the requirement, it needs to be explained properly. Because every church is different. You know, every church dynamic is different. Heavenly Vision, we're more hands-on, and I won't call them needy. I've said spoiled before, simply because we've had great leadership here, not just me, but my grandfather. And so, you know, membership care is a bit different here at Heavenly Vision. You know what I mean? Not every pastor is going. You know, some members don't know where the pastor lives. You know what I mean? And so, you know, it's different here at Heavenly Vision. Oh, I know what, if I'm in Fontana, I'm gonna call my pastor. You know what I mean? And so, you know, it's a bit different for us, but you know, each pastor needs to be diligent to know the dynamic of his church and know what is required of him. Yes. You know what I mean? I know there's some churches where the pastor doesn't do a lot of different things within their specific staff for that, and that's fine. Yeah. Just whatever the dynamic of your ministry requires of you, be willing to do that if you're gonna be the pastor. Right. You know, be willing to do that. You know, don't just be the preacher.
Right. The pastor. Right. I love it. Pastor Taylor's basically saying, don't be an insecure pastor or a leader. Right. Be a disciple.
Take the bull by the horns.
Right. Take the time to be intentional in someone's life. And let's say you're not a pastor and you're just a Christian. Your responsibility is still to be a disciple and also to be connected with others. There's some people that God has entrusted in your care to be a mentor, kind of a big brother. The higher you get in quote unquote ministry does not mean that your face should be left, you know, in the shadows where people just see you behind a pulpit. Someone needs to be involved in your life. They need some tangible evidence that this is for real, what Christianity looks like. And I praise God that his Christianity is not just determined by what's on his iPad, not determined by what they hear Pastor said, but people know Pastor Taylor is a real man of God who believes what God is doing in his life, what God can do in my life. And so, my brothers and sisters, those of you who have been placed in a level of influence in any position, be intentional. He said also be discerning, use wisdom. Don't take every option, but make sure that you be intentional so someone can see the God in you.